Growing older is a beautiful stage of life. It is a time when the rush of work slows down, when responsibilities begin to fade, and when one can finally enjoy the fruits of decades of effort. Yet society often pressures seniors into believing that happiness can only be found in constant social activity. You'll often hear phrases like, "Stay busy with people," or "You must be surrounded by friends to avoid loneliness." While staying social can have its benefits, the truth is much deeper. You do not always need to be around people to be happy in old age. Even if you have many friends, true contentment often comes from within, from peace, from solitude, and from self-reliance. Companionship is important, but not at the cost of your mental balance, health, or independence. Let's explore the 5 powerful reasons why solitude can be a source of strength and why being alone in later life is not loneliness, but liberation. 1. Solitude restores peace of mind and reduces unnecessary stress. One of the most overlooked realities of aging is that peace becomes more valuable than anything else. In younger years, people chase careers, relationships, and excitement, often surrounded by noise and activity. But by the time you reach your 60s or 70s, your mind begins to crave calmness, not chaos. Constant social interaction often brings with it unnecessary stress. Friends may argue, gossip, or share problems that have nothing to do with you. Family gatherings, though joyful at times, can also bring conflict, criticism, or emotional pressure. Instead of enjoying peace, seniors can easily feel drained by other people's energy. Spending time alone gives you the ability to escape that noise. In solitude, there are no arguments, no pressure to please, no obligations to entertain. It is just you, your thoughts, and your peace. Seniors who embrace this often describe it as a feeling of freedom, as if a heavy burden has been lifted from their shoulders. Science also supports this. Studies show that stress levels drop significantly when people spend time in calm, quiet environments. Cortisol, the stress hormone, decreases when the mind and body are not constantly reacting to social tension. For seniors, lower stress levels mean better sleep, reduced blood pressure, and improved heart health. Peace of mind also comes from the ability to set your own rhythm. You decide when to eat, when to rest, and when to engage with others. No one interrupts your routine. No one judges your choices. This sense of control brings dignity and comfort in later years. So, while friendships are valuable, it is important to remember that constant company is not always healthy. Peace is precious, and solitude is often the key to protecting it. 2. Spending time alone strengthens self-awareness and emotional balance. In the early parts of life, identity is shaped by roles as being a parent, a worker, a partner, a friend. But as you grow older, many of these roles change or fade. Retirement ends careers. Children grow up and live their own lives. Some friends pass away or move far. These transitions can leave elders asking, "Who am I now?" This is where solitude becomes a gift. Being alone gives you the chance to reconnect with yourself beyond your roles. Without constant social noise, you can hear your own thoughts clearly. You begin to understand your values, your desires, and even your spiritual beliefs more deeply. Emotional balance also improves with solitude. When you are surrounded by others, it is easy to get caught up in their emotions, whether joy, anger, or sadness. But being alone allows you to process your feelings at your own pace. You don't need to react quickly or suppress yourself to fit into a group. This creates a stronger sense of inner calm. Self-awareness also leads to wisdom. Seniors who spend time reflecting often discover clarity about their past. They forgive themselves for old mistakes, appreciate their achievements, and learn to accept life as it is. This acceptance reduces regret and fear, replacing them with gratitude. Moreover, solitude is not about isolation. You can still meet friends, attend events, and enjoy social life, but when you return to your own space, you know who you are without anyone else's influence. That confidence makes every social interaction healthier, because you're not depending on others to define your worth. In other words, spending time alone in old age isn't a weakness, it's a strength that deepens emotional stability and personal growth. 3. Quiet living supports better health, memory, and focus. Health is one of the biggest priorities after 60. The body changes, energy decreases, and the mind sometimes struggles with memory or focus. Many seniors worry about staying sharp, and this is where solitude plays an unexpected role. Constant social activity can be exhausting for the body and mind. Large gatherings, travel, or even frequent phone calls may overstimulate the brain, leaving you tired and unfocused. In contrast, quiet living gives the brain space to rest and recharge. Studies on meditation and solitude show that peaceful environments improve cognitive function. Seniors who spend time in calm, reflective activities like reading, journaling, or light meditation often maintain sharper memory and better problem-solving skills. The brain, like the body, needs downtime to recover and grow stronger. Physical health also benefits. When you're alone, you can focus on your own body's needs without distraction. You eat when you're hungry, rest when you're tired, and exercise at your own pace. This self-attention prevents neglect that sometimes happens when life revolves around others. Quiet living also reduces the risk of stress-related illnesses. High blood pressure, heart disease, and even chronic pain are worsened by constant stress. Solitude lowers that stress, creating an environment where the body can heal. Seniors who embrace quiet living often report better sleep quality as well. Without constant social noise, the mind settles, making it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep. Good rest is one of the most powerful medicines for healthy aging. So, solitude is not just emotional, it's physical. It keeps the body calmer, the brain sharper, and the heart healthier. Quiet living truly supports longevity and well-being. 4. Independence grows when you don't depend on constant social validation. One of the most powerful gifts of aging is independence. After decades of living for others, children, work, family, many seniors finally have the chance to live for themselves. But this independence can be easily lost if you rely too much on social approval or constant company. When people feel they must always be with friends or family, they unintentionally give away their independence. They shape their days around others' schedules, opinions, and approval. This makes them vulnerable to disappointment. If a friend cancels a plan or a family member doesn't visit, they may feel rejected or forgotten. But when you embrace solitude, you become emotionally self-sufficient. Your happiness no longer depends on whether someone calls, visits, or invites you out. You know how to create joy for yourself through hobbies, reading, gardening, prayer, or even simple reflection. This independence also builds confidence. You realize you don't need to explain your choices or seek permission to live the way you want. Whether you want to rest all day, take a quiet walk, or start a new craft, you have the freedom to do so without waiting for validation. Independence is especially important for elders because it prevents feelings of being a burden. Many seniors worry about bothering family or friends, but when you know how to enjoy your own company, you remove that fear. You're not dependent, you're free. In fact, independence makes social interactions even better. When you do meet friends or family, it's out of joy, not need. This makes the relationships healthier and more balanced. So, solitude does not take away companionship, it strengthens it. By learning to stand happily on your own, you protect your dignity and independence in old age. 5. True friendships remain valuable, but they don't need daily presence. Finally, it's important to remember that solitude doesn't mean cutting off relationships. Friendships are still precious in old age. The key is to understand that true friends don't require constant presence to remain strong. As we grow older, energy becomes limited. You may not be able to attend every gathering, travel long distances, or keep up with frequent phone calls. That's perfectly okay. Real friendships survive these changes. A true friend will understand when you need rest, space, or solitude. In fact, spending less time together often makes the time you do share more meaningful. A short visit, a heartfelt conversation, or a shared memory can be far more valuable than endless small talk. Quality replaces quantity. True friendships also adapt. They may shift from daily interaction to occasional visits, letters, or video calls. What matters is the bond, not the frequency. And when you're comfortable being alone, You don't cling to friends out of fear, or you choose to connect out of love. It's also important to remember that not all friends remain supportive in later life. Some may become critical, draining, or demanding. Embracing solitude allows you to step back from unhealthy relationships and protect your peace. You don't need to entertain everyone who calls themselves a friend. In the end, friendship in old age becomes less about numbers and more about depth. Even one or two meaningful connections are enough, especially when balanced with the joy of solitude. Final thoughts. Old age is often misunderstood. Society tells us to stay social, to keep busy with people, to fear being alone. But the truth is, solitude is not loneliness, it is strength, peace, and freedom. By embracing quiet time, elders gain peace of mind, emotional balance, better health, independence, and stronger, healthier friendships. Life after 60 or 70 is not about running after crowds, it is about finding comfort within yourself. So, if you have many friends but still feel the need for space, don't feel guilty. You are not rejecting others, so you are choosing peace. And peace, in the final stage of life, is the greatest gift of all. Ethio_AO diaresis